So this is the kind of thing I'm seeing in this field. I gotta be careful. I do see something over there. I'm kind of curious, but it's not my property. What is that? Is that a tree? It's not a shadow. Please do not tell. I'm so tired of people telling me something's a shadow. It's like, I know what a shadow is, okay? That's not a shadow. It's like a giant tree that's been... See, this is where I'm freaking... Like, here it's not so blatant. I wonder if it's because of all the amazing hunters. You guys, this place, the locals, there's not one guy that is not an expert marksman with like 50 guns. I mean, my buddy Frank can break him down. He makes his own bullets, everything. He's one of the best hunters there is. And he lives not as the crow flies, a mile from here. Not even. I'll be seeing him soon. You know, one thing that always gets me, there's a giant, I can't show it to you now, there's a giant trident sticking out into the Delaware, like out over the water, like 10 feet, 20 feet. It's a giant one, perfect. It was made and put there. It's almost like they're telling that, they're almost like talking to some of these guys that would be coming down the river. Why else would there be a trident sticking out? It's the same thing where I live. It's like they are always telling each other or something. And then up from where that trident was, this is not the only one, I would look here, and I would notice that it starts to look really good here. So they're marking the Delaware River, which is behind me, just, I don't know, 300 yards. And with tridents, and then if you follow the trident, I'm seeing leaners. I'm not showing anything yet. I'm trying to get to a waterfall. I just wanted to make that point. Hold on a second. Actually, I want to film right here. This is one of the places of my memories that I thought might be good. So I've come pretty much I'm only 15 miles from home, but it's going to take me a lot longer because I just feel like this is going to be good. Look at the trident. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. I knew it was good, you guys. I was coming up this road anyway, but I thought the giant trident at the river is just, look. And then there's one up the road. That's not an accident. It tells you this is old. It's always been. This is as good as it gets around here. You got green. They love the green. It's a sign of a great ecosystem. Posted and patrolled. I got big piles of boulders at the top. I like that up there. I don't know if you can see it, but it just looks like a clump now, but way up there. It's like way up there. Not these in front, but way back. I should have this road mostly to myself. I could get one car, but no one's going to come up here unless they're cutting through like where I live. And it's going to be very minimal. I don't have anything insane. They don't do a lot of structures here. They do, but they're so like thin calibered that you can't see them. Even these big guys are like doing incredible structures. Like you'll see that. That's theirs. That's just like it's a smaller version of the one I just filmed an Ewok at. On my property. They do structures and stuff, but you got to go like walk up around and go to them. That's what you have to do. There's things up there. I see it. I know the camera can't see it. Like, let me show you. Like right there. It's going to be sideways. You just no way to see it. Oh, sorry. until it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. Until you're like right on top of it. I think this is a trick to me not so noticeable, or it's just because of the way the wood is here. But they don't use a lot of big wood. Only on rare, like in one, there might be one or two. I kind of dig it, except that it's hard to find it. You really want to try it like I passed. And then you're in a good area. I would think if you just walked up there, you'd be in great shape. Okay. Over now. I'm going to find the waterfall. This is how it's done here. It's the only way. I'm telling you right now, you guys. I've spent a lot of time before I decided to tell you that. Right there. It's just different. It's the same, but you got to look, and you can't be disappointed when when you get in there. You won't be. That's how they do it. Right there. That's there. It's amazing. I show up, so that world's up there, but I always go in, so I go way down that field up there, and I work my way up this. So that whole forest is incredible. But I found where they're actually doing activity, and it's up there. So I came in this way. I drove over the wall, and then I get here. There's 4 deer. They run, and then there's a turkey. All I saw, I think, is one turkey, which is unusual, right? And I'm curious about this. I've been here 1,000 times, like right there in the field, because you go by, but you might glance over, but I never really saw like this. Like, maybe because it's behind this bump or something. They did that. This is how they do it here, guys. It's real ugly, but all you have to do is see that and know that you could be in an incredible place. It's not that they don't do it good. I think it's the wood. This. You guys stare at this. Watch. Okay, it's being held by that trident right there. I don't know how, and then it goes in field goal that one. That's pretty amazing. Look at this. Look at the detail. Look at this, you guys. These are structures. This is what I need. Look at that. And there's a bend going to it. I told you they worship the oldest trees in the forest. Teepee structure at the end. Like really, really involved. I'm not sure why. There's a big natural pile there underneath already. I think it's rocks. Like, it's got compost on it. And I want to sneak in this way. There's no sneaking up on these guys. So that's the one thing about these guys up here. There is no way you could get up to them without, because first of all, they could hear my quad start 3 minutes before I get here. So there's no way you can hear everything up there. Even like a car like 3 miles away on a road, like you can hear it all. I don't think they come out of there much. All right, I'm low on memory. I wanted to give you this is why. If this wasn't my property, I would never have gotten in here. By the looks of the outside, would never have made an attempt. Very suspicious of this guy. Now they know I'm here. Don't make any mistakes, Mark. I'm talking to myself. Look at the 3 in front. Look how squatchy that is. You guys always look for those, okay? My guess is they're looking out of those holes. Sorry, I turn my phone off sometimes because the screen's broken. God, that white thing looks like a face, doesn't it? I don't think it is. You'll see them wedged in there, though. It's how they do it, because that's just one giant structure. Look at this, you guys. They peeled this branch down because it's a trident. That's what they do. You'll notice when I'm down in the hallway, under a subsurface hallway, that you'll see these draping down like that. Only a trident. Look at that. All right, I'm taking this. Oh my God, look how long it's been there. It won't move. It's 2 tridents. It's 2 dragons. I think it's important to try to run this up. You guys, there's another one. It all leads right up to the kingdom. This is the only place. I've been all around, you guys, 20 miles out. And I'm sure this exists somewhere else here, but I could not find it. Not without, like, you know, this is, if it was like my job here, I would, but I'm telling you. I think I'd be good. I think people would support me for like a year here, and you know, unless I'm wrong and something happened. I can't do what I can do in Colorado here. So the only way for me to move here, I'm not trying to move, I'm just being hypothetical. To move here would be to develop some kind of special report here that people were very interested in. I even told them, some of my guys, I'm like, look guys, I don't care if you get addicted to pizza. If I got to bring to like make magic happen, like if I brought 20 pizzas a day, it cost me $400 a day to go get magic. Believe me, people would make it happen. People will kick in when it's beyond that. I'm already beyond everyone, but they can't see it. A lot of people can't see it, or they would be helping me. Believe me, if you really knew what I was doing, you'd be helping. You'd want to be a part of it. Trust me. I mean, you might not be your thing. You think it's not your thing because you don't know anything. That's their cover. It's like the pine needles. You can walk all day long. I was in one place for like 20 minutes yesterday, and you could never tell I was there. But if you go to where they're really sitting, they're going to clear it, right? Some of these rocks are worth a lot of money. Not a lot, but like just about enough to get them. I would never come into this forest and mine anything. They would think you were such a douche. It's one thing if you don't know about it, but if you know them and then you come in and destroy their forest, that's something different to me. And probably to them. You'd never know, but that's where it all is right there. Like you wouldn't know it from here. I think that's it. I'm looking for my big trident. Who knows what I've missed here? There's another one of those out of the ground. Here's like an out of ground hallway I've never seen. The only stick in it is a trident. I don't think it's an accident. I think it's from like last summer, but I don't think it's an accident. Right there. I think a lot of the structures I'm showing you are not from now. It's all last year. That first trident, that beautiful trident I showed you, I think that was done like 3 or 4 years ago, at least. Because it's marking there. But that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It shows you how established these places are. These guys were here when I was a little kid, you guys. I thought they would really, when you're young, it's not the same thing. Look, it's being held up by one vine. That's why you hear these things about kids like, Mom, I saw him. And I'm sure you did, honey. It's okay. You want some ice cream? Okay? Because remember, humans, adults, are very, very not bright. Okay? Listen to your children. Your children are not lying to you. Imbeciles. And then that happens to a lot of us as kids as well. And you'll forget, you know, what happened or the magic, or you'll tell the story, but it never sank in to where you think it's... If it happened to you, it's always happening, you guys. You just got to see a little touch of it. It means they probably... A lot of people will interpret it as scary because they don't understand it. Nothing is scary here, okay? Nerves, yeah. These little guys are so cool. Come on, you guys, I need a whistle. I won't go up there if you whistle. I don't know if these guys understand me. I know some do in Colorado. Because I'll say it and then it happens. Like hundreds of times. Hey, another one. This is nowhere near the one that I go to. Oh, yes, it is. Look, I didn't see it, you guys. Because I was next to it. That's the field goal trident. Looking underneath it. Nothing else underneath any trees here. Except the giant trident. Has those sticks that weren't from there. They're all different sticks put together. Can't understand why. Remember, they're right here, right now, staring at me. Ooh, there's a lot of gnats here. These things definitely spawn bugs. Looks like structure. Those are all together, look. Look, I pulled it out of the X. Why, I'm not sure. I just saw something in that forest back there. I'm not going to back up. I think you'll trust me. It's this one right here. I think that's one of theirs too. This isn't going to impress you, but that stick going across is theirs. They're blinding that opening. Someone's running around back in there. Remember, they get paranoid. They think that you're going to see them. Most of the time you wouldn't anyway, but they take all those precautions. It's because I think sometimes they're out of it, and most of what they do, believe it or not, I still believe the smallest part of it, in a sense, is us. I think there's another world there, and all they do is all they're doing is navigating each other. Like, so there's like a whole world that doesn't mind if they see each other, but then I think there's some issues there. There's some bad ones, and I don't think that they're common, but they do show up. Some people call them the masters. They're apparently evil, and they can make you do anything. That you've ever heard this? Let me give you an example. You ever hear? Sorry, my mom shades. Have you ever heard of like a story where someone's like, I was frozen, I couldn't move. This is what they can do. It's the way they do it is it's telepathy. It's like I said, I don't know, I can't swear, I'm willing to believe it's this use of energy. So your brain, you don't have any special powers, but you're accessing energy. It's based on what they told me. I said, stop zapping me. And he finally said to me, he's like, Mark, nobody zap. He said, no, he said, no zap. He said, energy overload. Everything energy. I'm telling you. I'm back to this, what I think is the Sasquatch Highway. Or acts as one at some point. It's some beings that I might not even know about, which is very possible. I think I'm bleeding. A little bit. Great, right on my mouth. No, I know you guys. I stabbed myself with a branch. Make no mistakes about this, okay? It's broken like that. And underneath it's a packed down, squared path, not a game trail. I think just what you wanted, a close-up of poop. I think that's, you know how flat this trail is? It's real flat. I was really surprised to look from over there and see flatness, because I see a lot of game trails here and they are literally that, and they don't always use the same trails. Trident, always facing where they are. All signs point to my little spot up at my property. Like you start looking that way, and then it's the only place with new structures. Like a structure that was built 2 days ago. My mom said that was not there when they left. And when we came back, there's a brand new trident next to like welcome me home. See, look, it's some kind of path through here. I would think it's probably game as well, but I'm not, how wide it is and flat, it's like the ones I find on the Sasquatch Highway. I'm very suspicious right here. Right here. There also used to be something different here because of the bridge, right? Like, but that was like 100 years ago. So that tree was there, just growing, and this was starting. This could be the remnants of like a little dirt road or something, maybe. I keep seeing this. How could those two just be laying there? It's something that I see where I am too. As you walk down the highway, they'll always tell you, they'll constantly remind you that you're on the right path. And I'm sort of seeing that now. Water has been right in there, you can tell. But not here. And that's about it. I ended up walking like, literally it's been 2 miles. I am a little, like, is it impossible? No, but it's a little bit unusual that the only tree, there's an X across from it too. I never saw. Look at that. There's something going on at the end. If you looked out, remember that short I did? I was like, there must be a logical explanation in the short, if you saw that. I don't think there was. There's a brand new giant structure. I didn't go in that way but you guys saw it out the window. It's right through there somewhere. It's like right over there. And it has tridents hanging down from the sky, and it's at the end of my driveway. Deer came through. Very little though. Like, I should be seeing more wildlife, you know? Where's all our wildlife? Same thing in Colorado. I'm noticing I'm barely coming across animals. And when I was a kid, I used to see them all the time. Like, all the time. I did see one bear. I have seen one bear track. That was like in the last day or two. He didn't look too big either. My guess was he was like 2 years old, 3 years old. Deer here. That was like today. That's it. Oh my God, it's double brakes. They did it. Look. This is when you come out of my driveway. I can't find anything back in the woods, but I find everything on display for me. Brake, brake, X. Okay, so that the best structure I bypassed. That's my driveway on the other side. It could not be any more in line with my driveway. Then, this is behind it now. I don't think it is natural. It's too much. It's all their language. It's a bent triangle into an X. And that has all kinds of chaos around it. Whoever's in here has never had someone standing here knowing that someone's in here. That's my opinion. And I think, like, if I lived here and came in here every day, that I would eventually not feel that feeling, because they'd be like, oh, this guy's coming back again. You guys, all you gotta do is make one noise for me, please. Please make me look like I'm not crazy to everyone, okay? Tell me that I don't care what the noise is, just, I don't know if they understand me. Just anything. A bird. What the? Is that a coincidence? This is the first bird I've heard since I've been in here. And it happened after I said, could you do better than the bird? I said anything, just make any noise, and he started just like making noise and like flying around towards me. They definitely have, that kind of control. I just don't know. I want something else, like, tap something, or could you guys just whistle for me, please? What the hell was that? He's coming closer. Is he riding on him? What is that? I can see it looking at me with my own eyes. I'm telling you guys, something like that. I don't know if that might be real. It might be real, actually. But if it's not, when we zoom in, it's something like that staring at me. Do you believe me? Think about it. I'm still here. I won't leave. Because I know someone's here. And I'm going to show you this whole video just to, even if I lose subs, just to get, I need to hear what you say about this. I want to see, not to hear what you say, I want to hear what, I want to see what my timestamp people do. You guys, if you hear that, if you heard me say that, try to make it, see, look, this is where I start getting suspicious. This is where it's the best. Now that here, they don't put a stick there. But when you see that in the trees, I would take a look at it. So I want to hold this for a second. That's a hole at the bottom of the tree. Looks like it was made. That's what I'm telling you. It's they don't have to do anything because it's the others. And you'll see little things like that where a stick is up and the things I showed you, and that's it. So that's my evaluation. After seeing that hole in there, I just came to the conclusion that that's what this is. Or, like I've been saying, I don't know if I'll put the videos in. Here, it's almost like a Bigfoot or one of the ancient ones moved out to the country or comes up from underground at the country, and then they all have their own others. Like a family of special beings will have these others with them. It's how they're protected. It's how they know what's happening. Why is there one of the others looking at me right there? Hey, buddy! Whoa. Did that come up on the camera? Something's been walking through here. Something made a noise over here. I'm telling you, there's no noises in this far. In Colorado, it's like, there's like a million noises, but here, there shouldn't be a clanking over here. I don't think whatever's in here really wants to do anything. I mean, they don't seem to care if I'm about to leave or not. I didn't go this way. So the quad, I'm probably past the quad now, where I walked across the street. Let's go this way. What if I missed it all? I would think these guys would hate Frank Malinsky. My good buddy up here, because he's a natural born killer. He would shoot. Oh no, I have been here. There's that tree. That's all marked, you guys. Frank would hunt these guys if he could. He would do it. He's a killer. And he hates people from New Jersey. I'm just doing this for timestamps. You guys, this is like a witch or something. In here, I'm seeing all their structures fill gold. A witch. Witches are human, Mark. Well, she's living in here. That's a great way to end your life. You just like wait by the forest and it's coming down at 75 miles an hour with a load of like stone and then just run out in front. That's terrible. I am not suggesting that it was a joke. Please do not do this. Like, Mark, great idea. I was trying to think of a way. Here's another one. There's something happened to a bridge. That's the way you can find me. Well, I don't want to. You could read the truck, but I don't really want to give away my exact location to all you Pennsylvania rednecks to come stop by. Am I insulting you? No, I am a Pennsylvania redneck. I was telling my dad that. I was like, Dad, I'm a little bit of everything. I could be a city guy. I could be a redneck. I can be, I'm a little bit of everyone. That's what I am. Ooh. I think this is a bear. These are bear prints. It's the most he's going to make in this. They're definitely coming out of... That used to be Spanky used to own that. Yeah, he looked just like Spanky from the Little Rascals. He sold it recently. He's another like uncle. We owned this whole valley between my dad and his two good friends. And eventually Mike his wife died, ran into problems. He had to sell that. We should have bought it. And then Spanky owned all that. I've done rocks on all properties. It's quite the pile of sticks right there. That a person didn't do, I don't think. Although, no, maybe they did. I think they did it. Because look, I'm telling you, nothing's in there. I'll never walk in that forest again. That's anything to do with what you'd want. It's just, I'm telling you though, you guys, it's important to, if you watch that, it wasn't for no reason. Like if you actually made it through that whole video, I don't know if I'll like put every minute of it up, but let's get across. See, I'd be here on my four-wheeler and I'd see the black bears like up there in the top of the field as I was a kid, like way up there. You'd be like, I'm going to get them. And then as you get down in here and you're trying to climb, you lose sight of that. And by the time I got up there, they would just be gone. There'd be no trace of them whatsoever. That's why I'm not worried about a bear here. But, because I'm going to be sticking my head into stuff, there's the X. See, you get across, the X is right there. So this is our property. So my theory before was like, it felt like everything was starting off of our property. That's what it felt like. Like you walk over the line and there was the X. But I don't think that's true. I think it just seemed that way. Because this is this is mine. Look, bear. That's a bear walking by. There's even a footprint there. I want to see them. The problem is they know. So like a bear's like right over there on the other side of the wall in the field. He knows I'm here and he's already out of here. That's why it's hard just to bump into him. So you probably, if you're in Jersey and Pennsylvania or in the woods, around bears more than you would think. So I know that's active because, or I know they did that because, I don't know if it's active, but they did that because there's X's on it. Trident's just leaning on it. Like someone put all those branches just leaning on there. It makes an X on an extremely straight trident. So that's not an accident. But it's weird because no one's like, there's no disturbances, like no one's there yet. Will they be there? And then you got the holes, of course. I'm telling you, you got these holes or something. I used to think it's where the orbs came out of. It might be. People film amazing orbs, right? We have some, you guys have seen some of the orb footage. I filmed too, but some people, like regular people, they weren't meaning to be out, like they didn't think they were going to see anything. And then there's like, they're out in these magical places and all of a sudden there's like literally like in the daylight coming through like orbs and stuff, and they seem to have faces in them. I am not an expert on that. I don't know anything about it. I do think it has everything to do with here though, with them. I mean, so look, if you disagree with that, just think about it this way. There's us, humans, and then there's everything else. So it's humans and then the unseen world. The unseen world consists of more accumulation of different beings and different situations and lives that you can't even picture, and situations you could never imagine in your deepest imagination. It's your body that restricts that imagination. When you die, you're going to see this. Whether you're good or bad, you're going to know some of this because, why? Because you've left this body, which in a sense is a prison. Remember, prison doesn't have to be bad. It's a great prison to have right now. But it's what keeps you from knowing anything. I'm telling you right now. You think you know things, but you know nothing. It's because, and you won't believe anything because this body is stopping you. So props to the few people on earth that can actually think themselves out of. Nothing. There's been animals in there. What will go in there? There's no, I don't think it keeps going. Sorry. There's footprints right there of something. Sorry. You guys, besides those little indents right there, this doesn't look any different than 20 years ago. I was right here. Right here. Really, what this is for, there's going to be other good stuff in this video, but it's also so you can see you know, these things, this video might click for someone in like a year or 3 months or something. Like they're doing something like, hold on. Not necessarily this, but that's why I show every aspect of this so it can help people. Remember, there's a lot of people, you know, just like me that are out there that you don't know. And the smallest little tool can change their entire day. Like, Mark, I never knew. I've done everything. I do everything except you taught me how to do something. And then now I can do everything. You know, it's like, so that's kind of why I have to put some of the boring stuff in once in a while. Because it does teach a lesson. I'm in the middle of them, and it's of their property that they don't really use, but they market. That they did at some point. So let's go to where I know they are. I mean, where I was on my property the other day, they had just made like something that day. So that's where I want to be. He's old now, but oh man. So anyway, I think he killed 8 people. I forget the number now. It was 7 or 8 people, and then the prisoners started coming at him like 2 or 3 at a time, like just assuming they could. And he was grabbing all of them. Like they were swinging like chairs and pipes at him and stuff. And he would just grab them and kill them instantly. Another one, and they just stopped. Look at that. They stopped. Isn't that cool? So they discharged him. I don't think he got charged. They discharged him and he was forced into retirement. And then he moved out here. And the only person that he likes out here is my dad. He's like, Barry, you're allowed to go on there, but no one else. My dad warned me early on because I ride my motorcycle everywhere you possibly could. He's like, don't go on Vince's property. He will shoot you. Like he just kills you. It's like, because out here you really shouldn't be walking. Like he owns like a lot of this type of thing. In fact, we're going towards his property, and yeah, apparently, I mean, would he guarantee just shoot you dead? I don't know. I mean, like 10, 15 years ago, yeah, I don't know. I think he's in his just probably late 70s. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. Up here, this is exceptional place. So this is right outside Hancock. Follow the Delaware River and find a place and walk up this hill. But don't walk up it until you see the things that you want to walk up to. There's X's, no shortage of tridents, and it's incredible. But I was saying to myself, like, I should be able to see one. Like, why can't I ever by accident? I'm telling you, no one stares in the woods or could read it quite like me. And I never get to see one of them by accident from the car. I think I have zoomed on them, like at high zoom, like zooming real far in, but like just getting a quick sighting. Now it's completely possible, and I know how to do it. Now the only times that's happened to me is when I'm standing right there with them, and a couple of the times it was an accident. The first time it ever happened to me, I mean, he was right in front of me, the big white one. I'll never forget it. I always remember his face. It's crazy. Like he smiled. He also knew he was too close. Like he was like, whoop. But he gave me a big smile. Like, it was so amazing, you guys. I mean, it's the closest thing when you see one of these white guys, like, floating in front of me. Like, he's not floating. He's, like, gliding over the ground. And he's 3 feet taller than you. And he has a face that looks, you just know it's okay. Like, I'm here to tell you, I would never put any of you in harm's way. You will always be safe here. Always. I mean, you have to be careful. You're on your own for bears in our world stuff. But with them, I'm telling you, even among, the evil ones aren't allowed. You will never be taken or hurt by one of these guys. Ever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could go to the wrong spot. Be like, Mark, my whole family's dead. Like, oh, sorry. My bad. So always be careful. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, 9.99999 times you're going to be fine. It's not even, if anything, even better. You'll always come out of these places like a little fixed. It takes a little time, but if you have a passion for this, your mind is open and you go in there, your whole entire life will change. In this cats. Look at that old Monte Carlo. Look at that. Only here could you see that. Just sitting out. It's like a normal car here. So here's Hancock, New York. I'm not going to go over the bridge. I'm going to go to a little store here for now. So I go to this, long story short, we have a CR 500. I think I was on my XL 250. And then we had like another motorcycle. It was me, my friend James, and I think maybe it was just me, Michelle, and James, and it was one other person too, because they left. And then me and my girlfriend started like making out and stuff, like under the like not under the waterfall, but like above it. Listen to this, and like really making out, right? And because you're 15, you're finally away from your parents and stuff, and hot and heavy making out, we'll put it. And after that, I stand up. We were kind of, I don't know if we were laying backwards or what we were doing. Like we were sitting there, we kind of ended up kind of laying back, kissing or something like that. I can't be too accurate, but it was like something corny like that. I'm embarrassed, but so then I stand up and there's a bear. We're on all these big boulders, like square boulders, and as I stand up, my head just comes up like 3 feet below the top boulder. He was walking over. He didn't know we were there. And I'm almost positive it was because of the waterfall was just sucking our scent right down towards the waterfall. He could not smell us. He scared me. He was just as scared as I was. But I'll never forget coming. It's a good story. Face to face. I'm talking, you guys, like 3 feet, 2 feet, because I stand up and I'm right at the ledge. I'm just a little below it. His face comes over the ledge, and we see each other. He lost his mind. He had never in his life had looked at a human in the face, like from 2 feet away. So that was pretty, but he turned around and took off so fast. I mean, I climbed up that rock, and then there was quite a bit of a ways to go, and he was gone. He had already scaled the whole mountain, like within seconds. That was pretty amazing. So I lived. And I ran after him, and my girlfriend's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I want to see him more." Like when a bear runs like that, you can kind of follow him a little bit. He's not going to turn. As long as you're not cornering him. Remember, don't go by California rules. We're talking about Wayne County, Pennsylvania. The most paranoid, scared bears on earth. I'm telling you, Google it. I've never done it, but I'll bet you there's never been like a death from a bear here. And if yeah, there has. But I'll tell you why. And if there was, it was because of the human, and that's exactly what it was. Camp counselors. We have lots of Jewish camps up here. They fill up on these back roads from New York City. They've always been there and always will be. And in the summer, one of the counselors, they hire these kids who are like 17, 18 years old. They're smoking weed in the bushes, out in the woods, and they find these bear cubs, and they're up the tree, and they're throwing rocks at them, yelling at them, cursing at them, just abusing their privilege as a human. And these poor little babies were scared to death because they're already petrified up here, like petrified. And guess what happens? This is a true story. I remember when it happened. And it was like 30 years ago. Mom shows up. Big mom shows up. Because that's the one time it don't matter if you're messing with the kids, she's going to come help, right? The guy freaks out. He climbs. There's two of them. One runs a little bit away, and then he climbs up the tree. He didn't have time. She was running at him. So he climbs. He climbs up just 5 or 10 feet. And guess what's above him? The babies. So to the mom, it looks like he's in a desperate dash to go get a baby. She goes up, mauls him to death. Just literally kills him. I got to tell you, I remember the story. I remember because the friend described in detail how they were abusing, throwing rocks at them and yelling at them. I think when when your friend dies, you get honest like that. He wasn't a killer. He just spilled his beans. And I was like, you know what? I still to this day hold those bears' lives way higher than the imbeciles. I do not feel bad for that guy. I'm not trying to be immature, but I never quite got over this name. Did you see it? I'm not sure why you'd want to name your town. I mean, I guess maybe that was before we started corrupting the world, because this has been that name for a long time. But, it's maybe it's something else. But this is Hancock, New York. So I don't know if any of you have ever, I know some of you may have heard of it, but I don't think too many of you have probably been here. So can I go, or can I go? Here. This guy go. I think I had the right of way. I didn't know what I'm doing. Everything's changed. I probably was in Hancock 4 years ago. So this is Hancock, New York. I used to come in here when I was mining rocks. We would work so hard in the winter, you guys, and then I had I would bring up different employees, usually my friend, like a friend of mine, and we would go to this bar and play Keno and then just eat wings and drink beers and play Keno. That's what we did like at night in the wintertime.